It is a gradual process, taking hold not over weeks and months, but years, decades, and entire lives.
Shoot onto rockets.
Their primary odyssey comes in 82 parts. Every one of them approached the same way.
It's all on me, basically. I think, you know, we got to come up with new ideas, better ideas. We got to get better and better. And, you know, with the crew that we have, I think we can do that. A lot of stress, a lot of tension.
The more you get to know your opponent, the less you come to like them.
I don't really think they should have been fired. I think that they did their job pretty well, and I think that we're really struggling without them. And just having the three of us is not really giving the people kind of the demographics that they like to see from sports.
Well, guys, this empty chair right here is not just for symbolism. We're actually going to fill this seat.
They are men whose very existence is defined by a game.
Ah, fuck, somebody's taking my spot.
A peculiar reality that began as a choice and became irreversibly a compulsion. Over the next 4 weeks, their confrontations
Clip me right now, let's go. Let's go.
Around the league and with each other.
When you look at Joe and Anthony, you only think one thing, and that's not SPO. They weren't team players in this game.
Become ongoing stories under a distinctive microscope.
Fucking unbelievable, fucking asshole. This fucking bullshit when you pull out of your parking space and it's already taken.
Even as their wills become ever more possessed by the ecstasy of victory.
Timely.
It's great, you know, we get to do great things. We talk about sports, the stuff we love.
This is 24/7.
Green things, man, they in the ground, man. They come up and they're very dirty.
We're headed off to the set of Sports Page Online. Do this drive obviously every morning, and this is no different. It's, you know, it's both good and bad. You know, you realize that you got a lot of work to do.
Very exciting, but very nervous. Too much planning has to happen. Need think about a lot of things. Me not good thinking, so I try.
You know, soon we're gonna be entering the parking lot here, which of course there's no parking spots. Why we only have like 4 parking spots, don't ask me. We have a bunch of guys that work here, but obviously not enough spaces to keep everybody in check, I guess. We got to talk about it. It's the 1-year anniversary. We're working towards this. It's a huge deal for us. Probably the biggest show we're ever going to do, so it has to be great. You got any ideas of what we could and maybe even shouldn't do for that show?
There's a lot of stress because, as viewers probably know, the show was probably at its peak during the first couple of months, and then it fell off a little bit when Anthony kind of went rogue, and then after that when Joe decided that he was going to try to take control. But finally, when Brad got back into the driver's seat, it kind of got back to its old self.
1-year anniversary. We got 1 year of great
Clip
things to
show?
pick from.
Yeah.
How many times?
Show you want to do?
How many times have we done a clip show for this thing?
Doesn't matter. People love to see their old favorites.
Oh my God! Yeah,
One of the viewers is going to get so many hits. You know how many things that we can talk about in this?
What?
We can have, you know, the trade rumor episode. We can have.
Yeah, we've already done that. We had a 50th anniversary show. We had a Joe anniversary show.
I know,
we had
but,
an Anthony
but
anniversary
there's more
show.
stuff we can add to it.
And we kind of want to top ourselves. You know, a year ago is when this all launched, and I don't really want to be embarrassed by doing something that we've done already.
The two Jet fans on the set, it's a nightmare, but for most people, it's a dream matchup in this area as the Giants and Patriots are going to meet in the Super Bowl for the second time in 4 years. Brad, the Patriots got there by getting a little lucky.
A whole lot of lucky as Billy Cundiff missed a 32-yard field goal. You don't think it's a chip shot field goal until you see Lawrence Tynes nail a 31-yarder. Billy Cundiff should have made that with his eyes closed. He missed it. Sometimes the game gets too big for these kickers. They missed the kick. It can only be mental because it can't be physical. He shanked it wide left, really wide left, and now the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. Could have had overtime, Not the case for the Ravens.
And I thought the quarterback matchup was interesting. Brady, who we think of as Mr. Clutch, admitted to how bad he played. He actually got intercepted 4 times. 2 of them were called back on penalties. But and Joe Flacco, the guy that everybody thinks struggles in the playoffs, he steps up big.
Joe Flacco did everything he could to get that team to at least overtime. Lee Evans, if he makes the catch in the end zone in the final seconds, they win the game and they're going to the Super Bowl. Flacco, we talked about it last week. He talks a lot about wanting respect, and he wants credit, and we all said he's got to play like it to get that. He did in this game, unfortunately for him and the Ravens. It wasn't enough. Tom Brady, by his own admission, he said he sucked in this game. He played poorly. However, he did score the game-winning touchdown when he leaped over the line of scrimmage, so he did everything he could do to get the Patriots to the Super Bowl. Maybe a bad game every now and again. It's bad for the Giants because maybe 2 weeks from now he won't have another one.
You think this gives the Patriots some confidence knowing they don't need Brady to have a huge game to win?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the defense played well. They have to play well if they're going to win against the Giants. The Patriots offense, they still did what they had to do. They scored enough points to win, obviously. Brady did what he had to do. He had a bad game, but they still won the game. And if that's the case, that's great news for them. I don't think they can get any more confident right now. They're a confident group. And when you got that team, that coach, you know, you have all the confidence in the world, and I'm sure they're ready to beat the Giants, the team that they lost to in the Super Bowl a few years back.
The Giants will come into the game pretty confident themselves, on fire, maybe the hottest team in the league right now, but they also got a little bit of luck in order to get to Indianapolis.
Yeah, it was the Devin Thomas show, which I don't think anyone would ever think of before this game. The special teams ace recovered 2 fumbles by the 49ers. Just unbelievable. One in the fourth quarter, one in overtime. That set up the game-winning field goal by Lawrence Tynes. Wow, Kyle Williams, where is he right now? He's got to be hiding somewhere. San Francisco's not going to forget him. The New York Giant fans are not going to forgive him. It's just unbelievable. The Giant fans, obviously, they're not going to forget him, not forgive him. But it's going to be just a crazy moment. And what happened at the end of that game is just unbelievable. Special teams, we always talk about it. Everybody says it's so important. But if you ever thought it wasn't, just look at the Sunday games.
I think Williams defined him. You look in the same hole Cundiff hiding in. I think
pretty much
they're hanging out. But the Giants, you have to give them credit. It wasn't all luck. Their offense seems to be clicking, and we talked about it a little bit last week, but Eli Manning is becoming a star.
He is becoming a star. He took a beating in this game. The 49ers defense was great. They harassed him. They hit him at least 12 times. They sacked him 6 times, but he kept on ticking. The first half, Victor Cruz was amazing. He ended up with 10 catches in the game. Matt Bradshaw did a lot of work as well. When the Giants got the ball off those turnovers, the Devin Thomas turnovers, they made them count. They turned them into 10 points. That was the difference in the game. Mario Manningham came up with a great touchdown from Eli Manning. So the Giants, they're going with a lot of confidence to the Super Bowl as well.
And they got big scores, too. Whenever they needed something, it seems like that's when they raised their game. There were parts in the game when both teams kind of lulled, but when the Giants needed to make something happen, they stepped up.
Turnovers were key. They turned those 2 turnovers into points. Game over from there. The Giants' defense, still, they need to get better. They need to cover the tight end. Vernon Davis had a huge game. If they don't cover the tight ends against the Patriots, they're in deep trouble. We all know the exploits of Gronkowski and Hernandez. If the Giants can't cover those 2 players, the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. But they got 2 weeks to prepare for that.
We'll do a pick next week, but give me a couple initial thoughts on what's going to be something to look for in this game.
You know, the Patriots are looking for revenge. I think that plays into their hands. The Giants, 3.5-point underdogs. That plays into their hands. The Giants like playing as the underdog, as the team nobody gives a shot to win. It's going to be very interesting. These 2 teams played earlier this season. The Giants won. So it's going to be a very close matchup. I think the Patriots do have the extra motivation to make that game from Super Bowl 42 go away. But can Brady do that? It's going to be a definite question mark. The Giants' defense getting better. The Patriots' defense getting better. Offense versus offense. Which quarterback, Eli Manning, Tom Brady, proves that they are the better quarterback in this game? We'll see what happens. Eli, if he wins this one, goes to the upper echelon of the top quarterbacks.
It's a Super Bowl matchup between a New York team and a Boston team. I have a feeling it'll come up again in the next 2 weeks. But until then, now Brad with the Final Rant.
Yankees great Jorge Posada will officially announce his retirement Tuesday morning at Yankee Stadium. And the question now obviously is he a Hall of Fame player? I say absolutely yes, he is. He was a 4-time All-Star, a 4-time World Champion. He had 275 home runs, over 1,000 RBIs. For me, he was the greatest hitting catcher of his generation. That's enough for Jorge Posada to get into the Hall of Fame. That's the Final Rant, and that's the final take here on Sports Page Online.